Good morning, everyone. And so happy holidays upcoming to everyone. And so, I've been a little bit just out of reach lately. I was kicked in the head 17 weeks ago. I haven't talked about that story, but I will probably in a month or so. So stay tuned for that. But I've been struggling. And I realized too, I mean, we're coming into the danger zone of the holidays with in terms of our weight and all of that. And so this is our annual like we can do it video, and where I talk about what I did in 2017 in that time, in those months where I was losing, in the process of losing 140 pounds. And I've linked to the main video that I made some years back that gives my core advice, which is, guys, just push through and do it. So we always like are tempted to make all these negotiations with ourselves of like, I'll just have one cookie here and one over there or whatever it is. And one of the best things I did is I stayed really pretty darn strict the whole way through. And in the process, I gained so many skills that have helped me with everything because I got through that big holiday season. And so it helps me with, the church potluck, in June or whenever it is, with the vacation, because I have those skills. So this is a really great skill building time for all of us. And so consider it that way. All right. But at the same time, we all need tips and tricks to get through. And that is the purpose of this video, to discuss those tips and tricks. And so we're going to do that. We're going to have people come on and give their tips and tricks. And if we have time, because I'm here until 9:55, and so we have 55 minutes. And then we'll take a short bio break, and then we have people in the deep den going to the project hub. But we'll see what we get to. But I have something that I'm working on now that's a nice little tool for us to think about that I'm about to put into the deep den, but I have it here ready to play for you guys if we end up with time for that. But in any case, the key thing, if you don't have a plan, a lot can go sideways during the holidays. And that's just so obvious. And it's something we all know because we've all gone sideways many, many times. And we all know how to go sideways. And we all know if we keep doing those things that got us going sideways in the past, we will likely continue to go sideways. And so, how are we going to do it differently? And again, what I did in 2017, I was really pretty super strict. Now, I had a big Thanksgiving meal, but it was at a buffet, and so I was able to pick and choose some things that were lower in carb that didn't do me a lot of damage. I definitely had more calories than I was having in the days leading up to and after that. But keeping my head in it and at least having some restriction on myself kept my head in the game. So I was then able to get right back into it. My weight loss in that Thanksgiving week did slow. It definitely slowed, but my overall momentum did not. And that is the key thing. And so there's an amazing picture of me in the video that I linked to, which shows me in that year of the grind. I took this photo with my friend on Thanksgiving Day, and then a photo, we recreated it 1 year later. And just the power of momentum and not like taking the break. Because what I talk about is back in 2017, I had already lost 70 pounds or so. And I could have made all kinds of, like internal negotiations with myself that I had earned a break. And, okay. But what did I earn even more? I earned changing my life. And I did that. And I was able to really make so much progress in that season. And I'll tell you, there's no Christmas cookie or whatever that's worth the progress that I made. And it taught me that key thing, that all of those things that trip us up, let's just do it a little bit differently and try to get the assets from, get into that future vibrant life. And this happens to us holidays. It's a key thing we can look forward to and plan for, but it happens unexpectedly too when you're kicked in the head and end up laying on the couch, gaining weight because you're not moving, surgeries, illnesses, all these things come up, and we need these tools and we need these skills because we know how to gain because we've done it before. So we are going to go and do a round robin. We got amazing people backstage here ready to share tips and tricks and intentions for this holiday season. And just real super quick, what I'm doing is I'm just eating my main way every single day. We'll probably have, like, the big meal like I did, in 2017, and that's pretty much it. I'm keeping it simple, but I have a plan, and my main plan is avoid the cookies. Avoid them. So, and don't even you guys in the den, I have some of the key videos on stuff like this and why I don't partake of the one. And I've linked to some of them here in the description as well for people who are in the den. But hey, so I have to scroll down to see whoever's here. And I knew we had a few great people, and we have even more. And so I'm going to ask Virginia to come up first, because Virginia is going to skedaddle here in a minute. And I haven't seen Virginia in a long time. Teresa's here. You guys, and Brenda, Georgia, Anna are here, and there's a link to join, guys, that's in the deep den. So anyone who wants to join backstage. But let me bring up Virginia. Virginia.
Hi.
Oh, wait. Echoing.
Uh-oh.
Do you have something else?
No, just me.
I'm muting Virginia, and I'm going to say, Virginia, lay it on us. I want to hear your tips. I'm going to mute myself is what I'm going to do. Okay. I'm so glad to see you.
Okay. Well, yeah. Here's my tip and my trick. Stay engaged here. So my brother-in-law passed away a week ago, and it's just been a really rough couple of weeks. And I haven't been doing great, but I don't leave. And that's probably the biggest tip I could give anyone is don't disengage, don't leave. Even if you're in the middle of, whatever binge you're having or whatever's going on, don't stop. Don't leave. It's like, everything that is coming at me at the moment reminds me that I need this way of eating and way of life to keep my body healthy enough to handle everything else. And when I choose, off of my one meal a day little box thing, when I choose things that aren't in that box, I just make it harder on myself. And, and I pay the price. So many of us have issues with, inflammation or whatever, your thing is that happens when you don't eat this way. But I do know when I eat this way, I just feel, so much better and stronger and healthier. And I know that it's for really my longevity, right? For how long I have to live and being the healthiest that I can be for all of that. And so right now I'm not in the best place, but I'm here, and that's my tip is to stay here and don't leave. And as far as Thanksgiving Day goes, it'll just be Gary, me, and my daughter, and she's doing this whole Julia Child thing, although she knows and eats this way most of the time. She still likes to play with recipes, whereas like that's no interest to me at all. I don't really care one way or the other. So it'll be what it is. And my last tip is that whatever is left over after Thanksgiving Day, she is going to either take home with her or it's going to the garbage can. So that's that.
Virginia, thank you. And I'm sorry, because I'm out of touch, and I missed the news, but you look good. You look good, Virginia. So I think you are like taking care of yourself. And I made a note here. So Virginia's main thing, don't disengage, like stay engaged in all this. But what Virginia's saying about that she knows she feels better when she eats this way, that everyone needs to note that for themselves. If you agree with that for yourself, make a note of it and don't forget it, because it is so easy in rough times to to forget it and to just eat the cookie. So make a note of it. Your future self needs to hear it like from your own words. Um, but the key tip, this key holiday tip of not having the leftovers around, I think is really, really good. I mean, you know what, if it's like turkey meat or something, that's one thing, but you know, we know what we're talking about here. So, okay. And I'm sorry, I'm having to mute. I don't know what's going on, but we'll just, that's all right. It's not our biggest problem now, is it, for Virginia? So, gosh, okay. Well, let me bring up Teresa. So, Virginia, I can't just stand just sending you off without you saying anything. So I'm going to mute myself and I'm going to say, it's so good to see you, Virginia. And I'm just wishing like the very best day for you and in your travels today and all of that. And so I'm going to mute myself.
Thank you. And actually, my other support system is I have a coffee club, and we've been meeting for like 3 years, and we're meeting today, and that's where I'm going today. So, um, that's another key piece for me is my support system. Is those two things really are the big supports. I have friends elsewhere and all that, but really like live in person people, I go meet with them about once a month, and this group, um, through the hubs and the den and all of that kind of stuff. And we all, I mean, many of us contact each other, separately, like texting or calling or whatever, and that's perfectly good either way. But yeah, I appreciate it, and I knew I'm gonna have to skip out about 9:30, but I'll stick around till then. So thanks.
All righty. Didn't unmute myself. Good to see you, Virginia. And you guys, Teresa is here. And I wonder if I'm going to echo when I add Teresa up here. We'll see. How you doing, Teresa?
Let's see. I'm good. I don't hear an echo.
I wonder. I'm going to try again. Oh, oh,
It sounds okay to me. I also want to say that Virginia did look great and you look great. Everybody looks great. I can't see the rest of the people backstage, just you two. So, yeah, I haven't been here in a while. Now, that may not be super obvious because if we've been missing lives, I've been missing lives. So, if there weren't lives, you guys may not know that I've been like MIA for a while. It's just been a really crazy couple of months. And things aren't terrible on my weight loss journey. I always hate that term, but I'm going to use it here. They're not terrible. They're kind of staying about the same, which is good, except for the actual end result is staying the same after going up some and back down some, which is always frustrating. I was thinking the other day about the regain, and we were talking about this in Sunday's Hub, that we've all regained some. And if I add up how much I've regained and then had to re-lose, how many times have I lost 100 pounds? I don't want to think about it anymore. Just don't do it anymore. How about that? But also what Virginia said always makes me think of something. And then I'll talk about my plan, if that's okay. About eating this way makes me feel better. There was a day, and I can't remember what day it was, that I had 2 glasses of wine, which is, I am like a half a glass of wine person, if ever. But it was a day. And for whatever reason, I had 2 glasses of wine. And then when I was going to bed that night, I thought, I feel lousy. And of course, I knew why I felt lousy. I mean, I didn't like overindulge and have a hangover or anything, but I felt lousy because I was putting stuff in my body that wasn't really good for it. And I wasn't used to. And that was a big reminder that, duh, you feel better if you limit these things or have them not at all. The point of staying at 0 is a good one too. So there's that was my thought about that, because yeah, I feel better when I eat this way. I'm also a pro at, I know how to gain. I should get a prize for being able to gain a lot of weight in a short period of time. I joined the hub on Sunday, hadn't been in a long time. If you guys haven't been on the hub, join the hub if you can, because it's just a great group of people. You don't have to be on camera, but you can just listen. And I mentioned on that hub that I went to the doctor and I gained way more than I thought I might have possibly gained. But then in a week, I lost about half of it. And so I don't know what the scale was doing. It's also just a good reminder that scales are weird. And the best thing to do is to just do the thing, eat the meal or your two meals, eat your two meals with the foods that you know are good for you. And the results will happen because it's impossible for them not to happen. And if they aren't happening, you can say, hey, why aren't my results happening? And there are plenty of people who will jump in and say, here's some thoughts.
Yeah.
This is supposed to be about the holiday plan, though, right? I can do that next.
But it's all the same thing when it gets down to it, isn't it? It's just the
True.
holidays, it's accentuated because the cookies are all over the place.
Mhm.
It's just, yeah, yeah.
Well, and see, my Christmas holiday is going to be a little bit more challenging than Thanksgiving. And so, one thing I thought about is right now I have a plan for next week. And then I'm going to build on that for my plan for Christmas because there will be more things around at Christmas because you get gifts and stuff that I can give away. But my plan for Thanksgiving, and this is last year we weren't at home because we went to family since it was the first year without my husband for Thanksgiving. And so this year we're having kind of our ordinary Thanksgiving, which is actually harder than I thought it was going to be because now it's the first year with our ordinary Thanksgiving without my husband. But I'm cooking the normal stuff we always cooked, which includes a couple of things that are not things that I would ordinarily eat. And therefore, I'm making a very small amount of that, enough that I may have a bite, but it is mostly for my daughter and my mom. And the leftovers are enough that they will be able to take care of them. And I can focus on putting all that leftover turkey on a big old salad. There are two dessert items, one of which is sugar and not very high in carbs, and one is the other thing, which is also freezable. And I will send plenty home with my mother that she can share with her friends. So it's also easier for me because I can say I eat at 6 and that's when our Thanksgiving dinner will be. And I can go the whole day without munching on stuff because I'm used to it. So it's just kind of repeat the process, but the foods are a little bit different and I'm going to be cooking them all day long myself.
Well, and so Teresa, let me just shout out on this issue of you're going to try this at Thanksgiving and then for Christmas. And I think that that's what we have to do in life. Like this thing is coming, we're trying this thing, and let's then, tweak it, change it up, see like where were the little things that we want to improve and then work at improving them. And as Virginia is saying with staying engaged, that it's only when we're engaged are we even going to be thoughtful about those things, and rather than just like closing it off and just like spiraling and just doing it like we've always done it. Yeah.
Well, and it's so funny that you said that because life across the board, I feel like sometimes is just all the same. I'm going through all these big changes at work. And one of the things that we're doing is we're trying new things and we see how they work. And they use the word iterate. We're going to iterate, which is tweak and change. And so when you said that, I thought, oh, it's just like what we're doing at work. So since it's to me, glad to be back and glad to see that you're back.
Yes, I'm back, you guys. This and I'm this is great. I was concerned like maybe I'd never be back, so I'm feeling very hopeful, very hopeful. And I know I heard some of y'all were concerned. Like Teresa, you missed it because I maybe wasn't 100% in my lives, and I'm still not 100%. I'm definitely not 100% in my recovery, but I'm getting there. I'm getting there. So yeah, iteration. I feel like that should be one of our keywords here, is because that is what we're doing. That is what we're doing in everything in life is like, let's just chip away at these things that are keeping us from reaching our goal. 100%. Well, you look great too, Teresa, by the way.
Well, I will confess there was a filter that said touch up my appearance, and I feel like I'm a little bit in soft focus because I used that. So I probably don't look really I don't know, whatever the word is. I'm very filtered.
I need to learn how to use a filter. No filter is it may be obvious. I don't know. Oh, but I love this Judy wisdom incoming. So on the issue of holidays, there's always a holiday. I'm sure if we looked hard enough, we could find find a named holiday for today. Absolutely. I don't think we'd even have to look very hard. So, and let's see. Sue comments. You all are so organized and well planned for the holiday. I feel lost because our families are so wishy-washy about what we're all doing. Don't know if I'm cooking still or going out. So Sue, shout out to going out. And so we've gone to this buffet restaurant every year for quite a few years now. And I love walking in, having someone cook and clean and walking out. It is just the best thing. It's like a miracle. So I vote for out, Sue, rather than in. Yeah, I'm not organized either. Well, organized enough to say I'm not cooking. I'm going to that buffet. Yep. Okay. Oh, and we have Cindy here. Okay. Teresa, thank you for joining us today, and especially with this point of iterating. And we're going to need a report about the. We're going to definitely need the report, like for our future holiday selves, need the report
Okay.
on the Thanksgiving to Christmas in particular, and the things. I would love to get into like the minutia of the little things that everybody did. And this is a video I'll share here in a bit, I hope, but some of the minutia I'm doing on something else that it's kind of funny, the little things that can add up and like turn the tide. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, okay. I'm excited that Cindy made it back here. So I'm going to kick you out, Teresa.
Bye.
Okay, bye-bye, Teresa. And Cindy, are you ready to come up, Cindy? Because I see you back there. Cindy, how you doing, Cindy?
I'm actually doing quite well. And I'm so glad and happy to see you. It's just been just a joy. And reason I decided to come backstage is that this is my second holiday season as a bear. And we hear from all these experienced bears, and I thought maybe somebody would like to hear from a novice. For me, as far as my weight loss journey, I'm kind of at a plateau, and have been for a while. But I'm losing 5, I'm gaining 5, I'm losing 5, I'm gaining 5, and have been working on that. And so now that I have my second holiday season, I will be cooking. I cook all the holiday seasons because my husband must have Thanksgiving leftovers. So whether we go out or not, I always cook a full spread. So I guess that's my love gift to him. But anyhow, there are certain things in a Thanksgiving meal that I struggle with. And so I last year tried to find substitutes, and some of them didn't work. And so for the ones that didn't work, and one of my main things that's hard for me to pass up is stuffing or dressing, whatever you want to call it. And this year, I'm really excited because I found an obscenely expensive bread that I can make my own stuffing cubes that is low carb, 0 or 1 gram net carb, and only 45 calories per slice. So that to me sounds okay, that might be reasonable. It just arrived in the mail to me yesterday, and I actually ate a piece of the bread, and it tasted like normal bread. So I have real high hopes that I'm going to have a stuffing that is going to fit my brain for my taste memory. Because that's part of some of the things is if you decide to try and do a substitute or a low sugar or whatever, you want to make sure that the taste memory is there and it's worth the calories. So that's one of the things I'm excited to try. And this year also too, last year I did a sugar substitute dessert, but I didn't do it in small portions. And so this year I'll be making them in small portions. And my husband doesn't like sugar-free things. So I will be cooking the normal and baking the normal kind of things. So that's kind of what I'm kind of excited. That's kind of what my plan is for Thanksgiving. And, and for my size, for the foods that I'm going to make, I'll be making the smaller portions. My husband will have the full because he's got to have his leftovers, So that's kind of where I'm at.
Well, Cindy, and you bring up one thing you said is like, is this worth the calories? Like, so does it taste like it used to? And is it worth the calories? And I think that's like a big thing. We all need to be just like have that phrase in your pocket, because that's the whole thing about the holidays. Eat anything you want to eat, but you're going to be wearing some of it around. And so is it worth it? And that's just the question we should be asking every day of our lives with any of these things is it actually worth it? And a lot of times we look back and say, maybe that wasn't worth it, especially like given how I feel, like Virginia's talking about in terms of like the way she feels from eating a certain way. And so putting and there's some videos in the Deep Den on this topic, and it's about the really examining the costs and the benefits of certain foods. And definitely, you could do it with a holiday meal. Like, is this eating it this way? Is it worth it? Maybe it is. That's fine. Go eat it. So I feel neutral about that. Like doesn't matter to me what people eat, but and as long as we just know that, yeah, there's a cost, it's all right. We're good. We want the stuffing. And so I'm kind of excited to hear your report about that bread and how that works. I'm going to be honest. I'm just going to still go to a restaurant because I'm not cooking the stuffing. So, but yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to say, even if we went out to a restaurant, I'd still have to come home and make a full Thanksgiving meal because my husband wants leftovers. So
understood. Oh, and as a tip on that, because the friend that I'm in the photo with on this video that I linked to, she actually buys. So this probably still wouldn't satisfy you guys who are like, I get it. You got your thing and you got your spread and you're cooking it. But for people who could get away with this, the friend actually buys, even though they were at the family dinner and had a big old spread, her husband wanted leftovers too. And so she bought the cooked turkey from, I don't know, Save Mart or something, and also with some sides. So he had his leftovers, but they were purchased. So that's an idea too. Yeah.
The only one thing I learned from my holiday last year now, and I was pretty proud of myself for Thanksgiving to Christmas, I only gained 5 pounds. So I thought that wasn't bad. So I'd made some good choices. But of my stuffing thing that I made last year, it was not good at all. And I think one of the things we have to learn as a food addict, which I am, is that if I put it in my mouth and it's not worth the calories, I got to stop eating it. That's one. And the second one is I then need to be okay with throwing it out and not saying, oh, I can't be wasteful. Okay, and those are 2 principles I'm learning.
Well, and so Judy brings up a key relevant point to this, and she says, is it a trigger? And so for instance, for anyone who would find themselves, like, say they get the stuffing with the 40 calorie bread and low carb and all of that, and it tastes good. And then are you eating the whole loaf equivalent of that stuffing or 2 loaves or whatever you got? And then do you want more stuffing? And that's really what Judy is talking about, is it leads us then to the spiral. And so while I say, eat anything you want, but we also need to know some of those things that we want to eat will lead us in the spiral as well. And so you have to look at the cost of all of that. Is this thing like the beginning of a spiral for me? And we all kind of know ourselves well enough to know if that one thing, because that one thing is not going to be a spiral for everybody at all. But if it is for us, then we need to just be aware of that. Yeah. Well, Cindy, but
and I do. Go ahead. I just one thing. I do have a trigger, and that's potatoes. I will make them for my husband, but I will be making a substitute meat. I won't taste it. I won't even lick the spoon to check out the seasoning, because that is my trigger. And the other thing about this bread, just to let you go, if that's something, guys, it is ridiculously expensive, and that's a deterrent. So that in itself is why I won't be, doing it. So bye-bye, guys. It was so great to be here.
Okay. Well, Cindy, I look forward to your report. So awesome. Good seeing you. Good seeing you this morning. I'm glad we're back, you guys. We're back. Okay. Bye-bye, Cindy. Okay. And yeah, so Anasul is saying no tamales for her this year in terms of the triggers, but we don't have to rely on Anasul's comment because we can bring her right up here on stage. And welcome to Anasul. Good morning, Anna.
Good morning. Yeah, I made a little list because just like Sue was saying, we don't have really specific plans this year. People are in different places, different states. We're not all going to gather. Some people will gather on one day, some people will gather on another day. So the main thing for me is I'm going to focus on the spirit, not on the food. There will be telephone calls, there will be Zooms. That's going to be important for me. The day after Thanksgiving, we are going to get together with some family. And I just gave one of them a turkey and said, you can cook it. So I'm not even going to cook the turkey. But one thing, when we were talking about the tamales, in the past, when I've had something like that, it's messed me up for a long time. And I mean, just one is like more carbs than I would have probably in 3 days. So it's not worth it. And I guess, yeah, what I wrote was just sniffing the food sometimes. If there's something, if I'm in a group and I can smell that food that I used to eat, I don't think of it as, oh, I'm smelling it to eat it. I think I'm smelling it to enjoy this memory, the memories that it brings. So I just enjoy the memory. And then I don't need the weeks of pain and cravings afterwards. I don't have to worry about that. And I definitely said connect with those we love. That's going to be my focus, is connecting with the people that I love. There's always going to be food if I really wanted it. And I will say that Teresa had this delay trick that she's used before, and I'm going to put it up. So she just tells herself, I'm in the zone this year. Maybe I'll have that item next Thanksgiving. I've had this dish before. I know what it tastes like. I'll have it again. I choose not to have it right now. And I think that's helpful. We don't know if the people we love will be here next year. And I mean, that's a sad thing to say, but it's the truth. So I want to focus on the part that means the most to me. And that's the part that means the most to me. And then there's one more big thing that I want to remember. Just like Judy was saying, we have, there's a holiday just about every day. We have to kind of figure all of that out. But we can get stressed every day, not just on a holiday. We tend to, if we know that there's something coming up that's going to be stressful, I think it's helpful to prepare for it by doing all those things that can lower stress or can help us cope with stress and reduce cortisol. We could do those ahead of time. So if I know this is coming up, I can do more, what did I write down? Oh, like walks, sauna, tapping, breathing exercises, things like that. Anything I can do ahead of time to take care of myself, that's going to be what I want to do. And I have been more stressed recently, and I have not moved as much as I normally move. I haven't eaten anything crazy, but I've been eating more often than is helpful for me. So that's what I'm going to start doing it right now. Like today, I am going to go on a walk. And Amanda, if you want to join me at like Mooney's Grove or something, we could do a walk. I think it would be pleasant.
That's a great idea, because I am actively working on that now. So that's, I don't know. I can't remember where I've updated who, where, or whatever, but yes, I'm walking.
Yes.
I feel so good. Because they had me laying on the couch.
I know.
Laying on the couch.
Yeah. Well, maybe you needed to do that in the beginning, but there could have been some good that came out of that, but now you can do the stuff that you love, and that it's going to help you. So I'm glad about that.
Yeah. And I have people I can ask, if I get concerned about something. So that's the big thing, is actually having people who know, people who were trained in it. Because I've just been going to my local primary care physician, and they're behind. They're really behind.
Yeah. You want a specialist when it's your brain. You really want a specialist. And there's kind of a shortage of specialists for the brain around here. So.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Okay. And let's see. Amy says, My self-help is make a plan for the week, yes, and taking one day at a time, sometimes in 30-minute increments to get through that day. Absolutely. That may seem laborious, but it helps, yeah, not to get overwhelmed. Absolutely, Amy. That's great. That is, yes, yes. And really anything that works for anybody. If you're like, oh God, every 30 minutes, well, do whatever you how just do it
Yeah.
different, figure it
Whatever
out.
works.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, that's good.
What Teresa was saying about iteration, and we've talked about it before, but there is a little part of the brain, and if we're always working on performance, then every time something doesn't go the way we want with our performance, there's a part of our brain that says, forget it all. And we don't want that. And the alternative is to focus on iteration, because then if something doesn't go right, you're like, oh, maybe I'll try this, maybe I'll try that. And then we don't give up, because we can't afford to give up. We can't. It's not just if we're going to fit in a swimsuit or fit in our clothes. Are we going to be able to move our bodies? Are we going to be able to do the things that we want to do for ourselves and our people that we love? So it's our life on the line. It's not just a size.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Well, and so the video that I have that I can play, but I'll just show you guys this maybe instead, which is that I've been working on something very specific for myself, and it's what I call my circadian rule. And so that is that I'm intending that when it's dark, that I go dark. And so no devices, no TV, no nothing. And that maybe I have like some meditation and sleep and get a lot of sleep, because they told me if you can get a lot of activity in the day and then sleep a lot at night, you're good. That is the key to recovery. And so I've made that. I have this notebook where for all of my recovery, but one of these pages is about my circadian rule. And the things, frankly, I find it very difficult to implement, because I'm just continually lapsing back into, let me just check. Oh, I hear a ping. Is that a notification? Let me check. And so little things like I've noticed in the night, I would wonder what time it is. And so I would look at the phone, and then that leads to the spiral. So I actually have a clock. I just got it yesterday, and it is a big like digital wall clock. So I can just glance over and see it. And so that was on this list, like realizing I check the time, and that leads to like spiral. So how can I stop checking the time in that way on my phone? And so I have this whole list, and I'm working through it. And the funny thing is, I made the video yesterday, and I'm like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do it. And I had the worst sleep of my life last night because, and I have this really great exhibit for y'all just to show you it doesn't all work as planned, but you guys stay engaged, as Virginia says, and keep doing it. And so here I took a pic. So I have the wall clock under the television, and this is a photo of the time last night. Okay. And in the video, I mentioned that one of my problems is I just like lapse into watching, this is Lucifer on Netflix. And so Lucifer, and it's 48 p.m. And so last night, but we avoided a hit and run last night, and we were witnesses to it. And so it was bad. And so I worked up, so it wasn't a normal. But at the same time, I'm realizing the cost to me of a bad night's sleep is very bad. And so I have to do better today, unless I'm going to, end up paying the consequences. So anyway.
Man.
Boy, I lost my train of thought with that.
Yeah. Well, I think that a lot of us would do well to adopt some of the things you're doing to heal your brain, just to feel better.
Yeah. Oh, and so my point with that is like this thing that I'm doing in my lists, it's about like trying to get myself to do this package of things with this sort of circadian plan. And you could make a similar list if you're struggling with eating in a certain framework, and the certain little things that just like needing a certain type of clock is actually helping me. It's those little things you can analyze and say like, oh, you know what, if this, because we often will just make the excuse like, yeah, but I had to check the time. Well, can I check the time differently?
Right.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Just setting things up to make things easier for ourselves. That's important. If we would do that for somebody else, we could do it for ourselves. Why would we make things harder for our friend to accomplish what our friend's wanting to do?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and Heather suggested eye mask. Yeah, I have eye masks, and those definitely help but still, it's still, I'm still watched Lucifer last night.
I like the musical episodes where he's playing the piano and singing. Those are my favorite.
Oh my gosh, amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah. Okay, you guys don't get started watching Lucifer. Don't do it. I'm only through the second season. I hear that after that it kind of declines a little bit. So we'll see.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
It's been so long, I don't remember. I just liked the musical episodes.
All right. Okay. Well, I don't want to run out of time for wisdom from Georgia and Brenda. So Anna, yeah, we need to walk maybe
Yeah.
today or tomorrow,
Yeah.
something real soon.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. It's gorgeous, you guys. It's
Yeah.
gorgeous here in
It
Central
is.
California right now. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's
Okay.
going to start raining soon, so we need to do it, in the next couple days.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Okay, Anna, and your focus on people in the holidays.
Yeah,
I love it. Absolutely. Which we should do in every day of our life and focus on
true.
things.
Very true.
People, number one, and
Yeah.
then turning our focus from food in the process if we can, to whatever degree we can.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Okay. I'll see you soon. Okay. Bye-bye. Okay. Now, we got Georgia and Brenda back here. Let me bring up Brenda and check in with Brenda. I haven't seen Brenda in a long time because I haven't been in the hub. How you doing, Brenda?
I'm doing really good. I sort of kind of, that's a lie though, but I got long COVID, so I have been really, my butt's dragging on the floor. But I figured I don't have to be excited or in the zone or anything to just do what I need to do for my body. Because, I was feeling sorry for myself. I'm not hyped up. I'm not in the zone. I'm like, since April, I have put on 57 pounds. Yeah, I had COVID twice. And I have been constantly sick and miserable. And it's like, wait a minute. Did that toast help me? No. Did the oatmeal help me? No. Bad Brenda. But, I can only look forward. I can't go back and not do something. And I know, and I'm just glad I didn't gain all the way back. Jeez, that would have been sucky. But I don't have to feel in the zone to do what I need to do. I don't need to get a feeling to do what I need to do. And so that's where I'm at. I'm trying to just do it because, I don't want to die. Small things like that,
Yeah.
all the falling and, breaking things is bad. And so, yeah, and I don't feel better after soothing myself with oatmeal. That's the problem. It didn't make me feel better.
Yeah.
It
Well,
didn't make-
so something I've really realized in my recovery is I in July at the injury, I was 53 pounds. And a few days ago, I weighed in at 158. So I've gained 5, which is a flippin' miracle. I feel like that I only gained 5. But I feel like maybe I've gained more fat because I think I've lost some muscle. But my main point is this, that it really helped me realize like that the whole issue of laying on the couch and not being as active, we're just not burning what we were used to burning. And so I have had to eat in like my diet mode to maintain. And so I've done that. And that is why I'm not 200 right now. But it's not the same level of excitement when you're not losing, And so it doesn't feel like I'm in the zone or whatever, because it's not that same kind of euphoria that can kind of come with it. It's like just a new normal, and it's kind of sucky,
Yeah, I have learned I'm keeping my hands busy because, what am I going to be doing otherwise? I want to be laying in the bed and I want to be thinking about food. So I need to do things. I need to like I've been crocheting and I've been sewing like a mad crazy bunch of stuff, and just keep yourself busy, keep your mind engaged, because my mind goes all kinds of weird places, really, if I don't make it behave. I mean, it's like I'm sitting there, laying there, feeling sorry for myself, and I'm like, that cabinet hasn't been cleaned out in a while. I wonder if everything is good or has expired. And then you see, oh, well, this is really close to expiring. Maybe it should be eaten. And then I had to tell myself, wait, I am not a garbage can. Why do I feel like I'm part of the clean plate club? It's like, you don't leave anything on the plate. You don't waste food. So, but then if I don't waste food, feed it to the kids, don't feed it to me, kind of thing. But then now I'm just trying to keep busy where I'm not even thinking about the food. And my son is a grown ass man. He can go through and decide if the dates need to be checked or whatever. I just need to stay hands off. I need to say, kitchen belongs to you. And I know that one of my holiday things is that I always make specials for my son, And the problem is I like them. So I'm making little individual cheesecakes with their name on it. And there ain't going to be one with my name on it. And
Brenda, I think you could do something very much like this. It sounds like you pretty much are, with things like the pantry and the expiration dates and stuff, and realizing that those expiration dates have caused you to gain some pounds. And so how can you do that differently? That's definitely what the kinds of things we all need to be doing. And I'm just looking here real quick at some comments, because we got to bring up Georgia here. But real quick, Barbara Peters is asking what my diet mode looks like. Barbara, so on the Eat Like a Bear website, you can join the 3-day challenge and learn like how I lost 140 pounds. And I teach just how I ate, and it's all transparent and it's all there for you. And so when I talk about like that weight loss mode, that's what I'm talking about is those like crafted meals, the ridiculously big salad, the ridiculously big skillet. And the point that when I've been laying on the couch and not being active, that's more like maintenance mode for me, because just from a calorie point of view, that we're not super calorie focused, but they still matter. Okay. But my maintenance calories are about 1800 when I'm just like before the injury, but probably in my sedentary state, it's more like 1300, which is very close to my weight loss amount of eating. So that is why I just maintained while eating on what would have otherwise been a calorie deficit. And it's not when you're laying on the couch. Goodness. Let's see. And Christy says, since November is almost over, what a special December challenge to get members that are struggling back on track. We need one. We totally need one, Christy. And also, you know what I need to do? Because I have the bag right here. Remember the challenge of like posting for 20 days over the summer, and I haven't sent those things out, which I always think of Christy, because I think Christy is like our avatar for posting. Yeah, we need something. So let's come up with a plan. And in the den, and I haven't had the time or like even cognitive focus to figure this out, but Circle has they have introduced some, I don't know, gamification things. So we can like generate, like we can have a contest in there, have to figure out how. Need to do that. So let's see. Okay, Judy, we'd be better off thinking do it instead of diet. I mean, for sure. Diet's it's not a great word, but then again, it helps to communicate. So yeah, let's see. Yeah, and Robin expressing the same thing, getting COVID twice, you guys. Gosh, I'm sorry. And then it's hard when the weight isn't dropping. Yeah, no, I feel that. I feel that, but I also know like it's hard to be motivated, but also we know where it goes. Gosh, we got to fight to not go back there, you know? So Brenda, you got to fight. Come on. So you're right. You didn't gain it all back. Yeah.
Well, I've learned that I'm thinking that COVID might be my new normal, since that was COVID number 5, the last one. And I catch things down the pike monthly almost. You know, the kids come in sneezing and dripping with snot, and I'm sick the next day. It's kind of a thing. I've got 6 grandkids. So, and 4 of them live with me. So, yep, I just need to, when I'm on bed rest, I need to remember that I don't need a big meal. I need a medium sized, just get me through meal, or just do like Anna and just fast through it. You know, that's also an option that this time I didn't do because I was honestly just feeling overwhelmed and not myself. I went from being hyperactive chihuahua on speed to a sloth on sedatives. And it just did something to me because I don't like being that way. I didn't even, like the kids in the morning, I wouldn't even get up with them and get my hug and my kiss. I was meditating on whether or not it was worth it to get a diaper, then go have to make it to the bathroom and stumble through the hallway. So yeah, it was a tough time, but then, you just got to pull yourself up by the bootstraps and say, but wait, do I want to do my last years this way? Or would I rather pull myself up out of it and do my last years getting up in the morning, saying goodbye to the kids, give them all hugs and kisses, and then, because I don't have them as kids much longer. My kid's going to be 16, my oldest. It's like, damn, he's learning to drive. So yeah, I just gotta, that's what I'm saying about the whole, don't wait for the feeling to come. Just do it. What was that? Nike? Just do it.
Well, and if to whatever degree any of us can anticipate these downward spirals and catch them, it's with things like depression. The way I think about it is, I mean, you really fall into this pit, and what I tell myself is it's easier to keep yourself from falling in than it is to climb out once you've fallen in. And so that's the story for self-care, and so for anticipating and for the self-care that's going to keep you from going down that spiral. Yeah.
Well, fortunately I stayed in here, and otherwise I'd be up 100, honestly, maybe 150. I lost 150. And if it weren't for the fact that, you would say, let's do this, let's do 19 days or something. And then, or do 7 days, let's do this way. And so I'd get into it, and then I'd lose 19 pounds, and then I'd gain 20, and then I'd lose 12 pounds and gain 15. And so this year has not been a this and this and this and this. It's been more like a this, then a little down, then this, then a little down. And I need to just really kick my own self in the butt, and just don't wait for the feeling. Don't wait for the contest. Don't wait for the, trip to wherever. Just, every day think, well, where do I want to be next year?
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, Thanksgiving's easy for me because there's nobody here but me.
Oh, okay.
I don't have to make nothing. Christmas will be another thing, but
Well, we need a plan for a December challenge then, Brenda. So I need you to be thinking about that. Okay. And what might help you too. So for that, we need a plan. Okay. Yeah. Oh, so and Anna is saying can't share a link. Yeah, we're on Backstage, and so when we put stuff in, it's not clickable. But you can find stuff at eatlikeabear.com. But actually, you'll find things in the description of this video, though I don't think I put the 3-day challenge in there. But eatlikeabear.com is the main website. So, but you guys, we cannot end this without hearing from Georgia. So, okay. Bye-bye, Brenda. It's been so good to see you. Wonderful. Good to see you. So I'm it's we're all going to be okay. I know it. Okay. And here we go. Wait. Sorry, Brenda, because you were just like in the middle of yep. And then I just
said it's just a bump.
Yes. Okay.
Just a bump. So just a bump.
Just like I couldn't not bring you back up after that middle of the word. Okay. So bye-bye, Brenda Bear. Bye-bye. always the middle of a kiss. So there's always the middle of something. Okay, bring it up. The legendary Georgia Baker right here. Good morning, Georgia. How are you?
Good morning. I am fabulous. Today it is my 5-year bearversary. And so 5 years I've been at it. 5 years I've been digging, and I am succeeding because I'm never giving up. Never giving up. No matter what, you just keep going. And I know you said you wanted to be off by 55. So I would say my list of intentions are going to be the same for the holiday that they are every single day. I wake up first thing in the morning with a positive about myself and a reassurance that whatever faces me, I'm going to be able to do it. I'm going to be able to handle it. Next, before I go to bed, I'm proud of myself for what I've accomplished. If it didn't go perfect, I write down what I could have done better and make that a plan for the next day. As far as going to family dinners and stuff like that, I always try to make sure that I bring something for myself, and I make sure I bring my water so I'm not tempted with a sweet tea that I'm dangerous around. And the main thing is if I decide to eat something, I give my permission a very small amount and I'm done. No seconds, no thirds, unlike somebody I live with. It's that one little bite, that's it. And then I'm right back on track the very next day. And also on this 24, by the end of 24, I'm down 28 pounds. So
I would just
repair 28 pounds down, living hour by hour, day by day, and never giving up on yourself.
well, congratulations, Georgia, because you guys, if anyone who missed it, back in August, I declared I'm losing 24 and 24. Who's going to join me? And I'm down 0. So,
Well, but
I've had issues.
Life challenges.
It's been a very hard fall, and we'll talk more. We'll be talking more about all this because and I'll do a proper short little video about like the upcoming year for Eat Like a Bear and our focus and all that. But yeah, it's been a hard year, and honestly, that I didn't lose 24 isn't my biggest problem at all. So anyway, I'm grateful I'm not having brain surgery. I'm grateful that I'm able to get out and even think about walking with on a stool, just all these things. So yeah.
Oh, and also you don't know about the posting challenge. I'm running a posting challenge that everybody who engages and posts, like in Swanky Bears and on the Den, that their name will go into a hat. And at the end of the month, I'm going to do a drawing from something special from me and you.
Oh, okay. See, I am sorry. I'm getting back in touch. So because I'm back.
Yeah.
I'm not maybe 100% back, but I'm back and I'm getting there. And then I'm going to be more than 100%.
Yeah.
That's what I'm working on.
Everybody to engage people, like Teresa said, and you've got to be engaged. The more that you can be a part of this group and other people that are right in the same boat with you, the more powerful you're going to be. And like Ellen said, when she was had a little bump, she called another bear and it got her over the hump. And that's what we're there for. This is a fantastic support group.
Absolutely. And really, we get it. I mean, that's why it works. We get it. And we get that it is a struggle. It is a struggle the main thing is to just try to get a little better at it today than you were yesterday.
But
Gosh.
yeah, Ellen made her 24. I'm so excited for her.
Yeah, that is great. That is so great. Awesome. I'm getting my 25 and 25. Because the thing is, my 24 was going to get me into a weight range I've never been in since about 1980 for about 10 minutes. So anyway, yeah, I can do 25 and 25. I know I can do that for sure. Yeah. Okay. Well, all righty. Well, okay. It's 10 o'clock. That's pretty good because we're only, that's pretty good, Georgia.
Yep. Right.
Okay, you guys, well, you know what? I'm going to bring back up everybody who's still here and we'll just say goodbye. And yeah, because Virginia had to take off. But and Kathy says engage. Yes, we need to engage. Engage. It's when we close off like the eating and the weight loss and just all of that, or like our weight issues and just like ignore it. That's when it comes back. All the pounds come back. Because there's always the part of us who's going to want to eat the Christmas cookie, and that never goes away. And so we just have to structure things, and it takes a lot of diligence in making lists like what's in this booklet right here. Yeah. And so I will post this video and it'll end up in the Deep Den library. Yeah, for sure. So, oh, and Linda says, Georgia has always been an inspiration. I joined in August of 2020. Okay. Wow. How wonderful. And Sue, happy days ahead, everyone. Thanks for this live. Yes, and we're back. Okay, so I think I'm not doing a live next week because it's like Thanksgiving. Most people will be like busy cooking, apparently cooking the stuffing and all that. Okay, but then the next week, and we will meet and discuss the iteration of all this.
Mhm.
So yeah,
Yeah.
wonderful. Okay, well, ladies, thanks for joining me today. It's so good to see you guys. And everyone who's come and left comments, good to see you guys. I'm just scrolling up again. Look at everybody here. Okay, how wonderful. Okay, I'm going to go lay down for a while. So
Very good.
yep.
Good idea.
Okay. Happy holidays to everyone. And you can do it. You can totally do it. This is skill building. It's total skill building. Everyone,
Yep.
you all got it. You got it.
Yep.
Go do it.
And you deserve it.
Yes.
Absolutely. You are worth it. You are worth it.
Yep.
100.
Surrender.
We're going to let's all wave to everybody like this is like, you're worth it and you got it. Okay. We're sending you the energy. Okay. Okay, guys. Love you guys. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.